life's been a bit hectic at the moment, and you've decided, after reading quite a few articles on how to take down your stress levels and how to relax, that it's time to reconnect with nature. Some of the advice is so obvious and yet so simple. Some of it you do already, but you maybe don't commit to it or don't think about it too much. Maybe a bit too guilty of not living in the moment. So today is the day that you're going to start making time for yourself. Some of the things that you've read have been really interesting. Making a little time in every day for essentially a little holiday from the hecticness, a little holiday in the day. And it's something as simple as taking 30 minutes out for yourself, going for a drink in your favourite shop or your favourite bar, going out to meet someone that you like, to just have that little break from the day, even going to a class that you enjoy. And today you've decided something that you've been interested in but never really committed to before, to go for a walk and to take some photographs of things that really spark your interest. So you live in a suburban area, which means that there's a nice mixture of architecture, of parks, of shops, but there's also quite a lot of nature. So armed with your phone, you head out and you start to walk. And it's not long before you realise that your shoulders are more settled. The pace of your breathing is slower. Your breaths are deeper. You're relaxing. You're really into this. Didn't realise it was missing, but you needed something like this. No wonder people say that just getting out for a walk in the fresh air is so good for your mental health. You walk past a park and you start to see some really beautiful plants and bushes, and they have some interesting berries on them. You're not quite sure what they are, but you decide to start taking your pictures now, and you might even refer to the internet later on to see what they are, see if you can work out exactly what these different bushes and plants are. The vibrant greens of the leaves, from really dark to bright, almost lime green. As we head into autumn, there are also some leaves that you can tell are starting to go more yellow, go brown. And every so often someone's walking a dog. So you've also got that to enjoy too, because the majority of these dogs are so friendly, eager to see what you're up to, get a little pat on the head. All sorts of dogs, all shapes and sizes. And most people are friendly and look forward to saying hello. You continue walking on. Some beautiful flowers. Again, it's so random. It seems as if there's little growths of flowers, and then there's nothing, and then there's bushes, and then there's big massive trees. But sometimes when there's flowers, it almost looks as if they're there by accident. And you spot a single little selection, tiny 3 or 4 beautiful white flowers in full bloom. Again, you don't know what they are, but they're so striking and they stand out because they look as if they don't belong there. And again, that connects with you because in nature, sometimes things don't look as if they should go side by side, should share the same space, but they do, and it works. And that can feel like a metaphor for life, because sometimes we feel as if we don't fit somewhere, and in actual fact, we do. It's just how we perceive the situation. And you take a lot in just from viewing everything around you and seeing that Mother Nature does have a way of setting things out and making things click, even when it feels like it doesn't or it shouldn't. It's quite a warm day, and the sun's shining on you, but it's not too hot. It's not the height of summer. It's very pleasant. And you continue walking along. Walk quite a bit further, past a park, lots of children playing on swings and different playground equipment, having a great time. And you see a beautiful selection of roses in bloom. Again, you wouldn't expect to see them on your walk, but they're beautiful and they've got this lovely two-tone effect to them. They're pale pink, and yet the edges of the petals are vibrant dark pink. They look as if they've been dyed. And you go right up as close as you can, zoom right in, and get a real beautiful close-up of those flowers. Something about them just makes you feel so calm. They say that when you connect with nature, every system calms down. And you feel so engaged. And you do feel as if everything is just soothing and settling. It's amazing what green space can do. Never really thought about it before. Never really paid attention to it. As you continue walking, you see some bushes that have berries on them. No idea what they are. They don't look like anything that's instantly familiar, but just little blackberries. Obviously, you wouldn't even consider trying to eat anything. But it's interesting to see what's there. And then you move along and you see red berries. And again, there are birds every so often walking about, having a little look for food. You see some of the birds pecking at these, but again, you don't instinctively know what they are, so that's something that you could look at later. Continuing to walk on and really enjoying the exercise, you feel as if you're warming up. It's certainly quite a brisk pace, and you'll be looking forward to the effects later of all this lovely fresh air and exercise. And then you see this really interesting, looks more like a bush, and it's got beautiful vibrant yellow flowers. So vibrantly yellow, like buttercups or daffodils, but they've got a sort of daisy-like quality to them. Again, you wouldn't be able to name what they are, but they look beautiful, like something out of a book or something that someone would draw. So symmetrical, so vibrant. It's amazing what all these different colours do to your mood. And then moving on again, there's a big, really quite intimidating size of bush. It's huge and it's growing out onto the path. And every so often, in between all of these green leaves, these lilac and purple flowers. The flowers are lilac, and then in between them, lots of little purple flowers, little buds. And these lilac flowers Again, you wouldn't know what they were called, but they're beautiful. They look like perfectly symmetrical drawings. They have 4 petals, almost like a square, with lovely little yellow intricacies in them, little details. These are things that you just walk past before, and you're ashamed to say that you don't really spend a lot of time learning about different flowers and bushes and trees and plants. So you only know the most popular ones, you don't really know them, and you make a decision that you're going to actually educate yourself a bit more in what's out there, what's growing in the gardens, what's growing in your local area, what's common. It's amazing what you haven't taken in up until now in your natural surroundings. But there is a lot of beauty there. We miss it when we walk with our heads down, or we drive, or we just don't pay attention. And as you continue your walk, and you're now moving round in a circuit, so you're getting ready to head back, you see an apple tree. Now, this tree is big. This has been here for years. You've never noticed it before. And you look up, and it's huge. Lots of small little apples. Take a picture, zoom in as close as you can. And you know that you won't be picking one to eat. You know it's not going to be anything like that. But you're fascinated that you never noticed before. It's amazing, all these things that have been around you, and they just passed you by. And you wonder when that apple tree began to grow, how it began, what's the story, how old is it? Did someone throw an apple core? Are there more apple trees around you've never noticed? So many people in your local neighbourhood don't really have that style of garden anymore. They have decking, they have artificial lawns, they've paved it over. So it's not actually that common to see all these different plants and trees, except when you decide to walk out and about. They say that when you connect with nature, it can increase your happiness. And you must admit that you do actually feel quite engaged with this. It's sparking an interest. It's engaging your intellect. It's making you want to research. And that in turn does make you happy, because you have a purpose to this day. You have a purpose to what you're doing. You're not just wandering about thinking about what's not going your way or what's not happening fast enough. So yes, you do think they've got a point. You can understand why engaging with the nature around you does actually make you feel better. And as you continue to walk back home, you're taking in every tree, every plant, every bush, looking at all the different colours. You see more vibrant pink flowers, you see white flowers, you see little cream berries, red berries, black berries. And it's time to connect. It's time to start paying attention to nature. It's time to develop a relationship with this natural world that's around us. Makes you feel good, calms everything down, helps you to relax. And that's priceless.